Have you ever wondered how your iPhone unlocks the instant you look at it? No password, no fingerprint, no hesitation. In less than half a second, an invisible system has already measured your face with astonishing precision. Hidden inside the tiny opening at the top of the display is one of the most sophisticated three-dimensional scanning systems ever engineered for a smartphone. Every unlock begins with advanced optics, artificial intelligence, and secure hardware working together long before you even notice the screen turning on. Most people believe Face ID simply takes a picture and compares it with the stored photo. That is not what happens. Face ID does not recognize your hairstyle, your skin color, or a flat image. Instead, it creates a highly accurate three-dimensional model of your face. The system measures physical depth and geometry, making it dramatically more secure than traditional two-dimensional facial recognition used in many older devices. Everything begins inside Apple's TrueDepth system. Behind the glass are several miniature components working together as one. The flood illuminator provides invisible infrared light. The dot projector creates thousands of measurement points. The infrared camera records the reflected pattern, while dedicated sensors coordinate the entire process. Individually, these components seem simple, but together they become an advanced three-dimensional measurement instrument. The moment your iPhone detects that someone is looking at the screen, the flood illuminator activates. It emits infrared light that human eyes cannot see, evenly illuminating your entire face. Because infrared light is invisible yet easily detected by specialized sensors, Face ID continues working reliably in bright daylight, indoors, and even in complete darkness without requiring any visible flash. Once the face has been illuminated, the dot projector begins its job. Instead of projecting a single laser beam, it generates more than 30,000 microscopic infrared points across your forehead, eyes, nose, cheeks, lips, and chin. Every tiny point becomes a precise reference marker that reveals the exact shape and depth of your facial surface. The infrared camera immediately captures this invisible pattern. It does not produce a normal photograph. Instead, it measures how every projected point shifts across the contours of your face. Tiny differences in position reveal tiny differences in depth. Within only a few milliseconds, the camera has collected enough information to reconstruct the complete three-dimensional geometry of your face. At this stage, the iPhone still has not created a picture of you. What it now possesses is something far more valuable: a dense cloud of depth measurements. Tens of thousands of sampled points are converted into mathematical coordinates that describe the exact contours of your face. Shape, depth, and geometry become the language that Face ID uses for recognition instead of color or appearance. This enormous collection of depth information is transferred to the Apple Neural Engine. Rather than comparing individual points one by one, specialized artificial intelligence analyzes the entire facial structure at once. It evaluates countless geometric relationships, including the distance between your eyes, the curvature of your cheeks, the shape of your jaw, and many other features simultaneously. Even after the neural engine finishes its analysis, it still cannot unlock the phone. The final decision belongs to the Secure Enclave. This isolated security processor stores an encrypted mathematical representation of your face and performs every biometric comparison entirely inside the device. Your facial information never leaves the iPhone and is never uploaded to external servers. Face ID is also designed to adapt naturally over time. If you grow a beard, wear glasses, or gradually change your appearance, the system refines its mathematical model after successful authentications. Instead of replacing your facial profile, it continuously learns small changes while preserving the high level of security required to protect your personal information. Face ID does much more than recognize the shape of a face. It must also verify that a real person is actually present. The system checks whether your eyes are naturally directed toward the display and confirms that the measured object has genuine three-dimensional depth. These additional security checks prevent ordinary photographs, videos, and most flat replicas from successfully impersonating the device owner. Creating this level of security inside a smartphone is an extraordinary engineering challenge. Every optical component must remain perfectly aligned within a module only a few millimeters thick. Tiny manufacturing tolerances, thermal expansion, and mechanical vibration all have the potential to reduce accuracy, so every TrueDepth module is precisely calibrated before leaving the factory. The dot projector itself is a remarkable optical device. A microscopic V-cell infrared laser works together with the diffractive optical element that divides a single beam into more than 30,000 individual infrared points. Every projected point has a precisely calculated position, allowing the system to measure facial depth with exceptional consistency and accuracy. Capturing those points is the job of the infrared camera. Unlike a conventional selfie camera, is designed specifically for measurement rather than photography. It records the reflected infrared pattern, allowing sophisticated reconstruction algorithms to estimate the exact distance from the phone to thousands of locations across the user's face almost instantly. The reconstructed depth map is then transformed into a dense three-dimensional surface. Instead of storing millions of individual measurements forever, the system extracts mathematical features that uniquely describe your facial geometry. These biometric characteristics remain remarkably stable even when your expression changes or the surrounding lighting conditions are completely different. Inside the Apple processor, the neural engine accelerates this entire analysis using dedicated artificial intelligence hardware. Billions of transistors work together to process complex neural networks at incredible speed, while consuming very little power. Specialized hardware makes Face ID both fast enough for everyday use and efficient enough to preserve battery life. Once the neural engine has completed its analysis, the resulting biometric information is securely transferred to the Secure Enclave. This isolated processor stores the encrypted facial template and performs every comparison inside protected hardware. Even the operating system cannot directly access the biometric data, providing an additional layer of security against unauthorized access. Every successful unlock depends on perfect coordination between optics, electronics, artificial intelligence, and secure computing. The flood illuminator provides invisible lighting. The dot projector creates the structured infrared pattern. The infrared camera measures facial geometry. The neural engine performs intelligent analysis, and the Secure Enclave makes the final authentication decision. Every stage must succeed before the phone unlocks. From the user's perspective, the entire sequence feels almost instantaneous, yet within those few hundred milliseconds, tens of thousands of optical measurements, millions of mathematical operations, advanced AI inference, and multiple layers of cryptographic protection have already been completed. It is one of the fastest and most sophisticated engineering workflows found in any consumer electronic device. The next time your iPhone unlocks, the moment you look at it, remember what is really happening beneath the glass. Invisible infrared light is measuring your face. Advanced processors are reconstructing a three-dimensional model. Artificial intelligence is verifying your identity, and dedicated security hardware is protecting your personal data. Behind one effortless glance lies one of the most advanced biometric systems ever engineered for a smartphone. What makes Face ID truly remarkable is not any single component, but the way every component operates as one synchronized system. Optical sensors, infrared projectors, AI accelerators, memory controllers, and secure processors exchange information continuously. Every measurement flows through a carefully engineered pipeline where speed, precision, and security are equally important. Maintaining that precision is far more difficult than it appears. Engineers must compensate for manufacturing tolerances measured in micrometers, slight temperature changes inside the phone, electronic noise, and natural movement while the user raises the device. Sophisticated calibration algorithms ensure that every measurement remains reliable despite these constantly changing conditions. The TrueDepth system also demonstrates how hardware and software are designed together. High-quality optical measurements alone are not enough. Intelligent reconstruction algorithms transform raw infrared data into an accurate three-dimensional facial surface, removing invalid measurements, correcting optical distortion, and preserving only the information required for reliable biometric authentication. Every stage of this reconstruction must finish almost instantly. While one part of the processor estimates depth, another prepares neural network inference, while secure hardware simultaneously verifies encrypted biometric information. Multiple specialized processors operate in parallel, allowing millions of operations to complete within only a few hundred milliseconds. Power efficiency is another major engineering achievement. Processing such an enormous amount of data with the traditional processor would consume far more energy. Instead, dedicated hardware accelerators perform only the mathematical operations they were specifically designed for, dramatically reducing power consumption while increasing performance. Security is built into every layer of the architecture. Biometric data never travels to remote servers, never becomes part of cloud storage, and never leaves the secure boundaries of the device. Every comparison occurs locally, reducing both privacy risks and opportunities for external attacks. This layered approach also improves reliability. Even if one subsystem encounters unexpected conditions, additional validation stages continue checking the biometric measurements before any unlock decision is made. Rather than trusting a single result, Face ID combines multiple independent sources of evidence before confirming your identity. The engineering philosophy behind Face ID extends beyond smartphones. Similar structured light measurement, depth reconstruction, artificial intelligence, and secure processing technologies are increasingly used in robotics, industrial automation, medical imaging, and autonomous systems, where precise three-dimensional measurement is essential. As semiconductor technology continues to evolve, future biometric systems will become even faster, smaller, and more accurate. Higher performance neural processors, improved infrared sensors, and more advanced optical designs will continue pushing the limits of what can fit inside a mobile device, without changing the effortless experience users have come to expect. Face ID proves that the most advanced technology is often the technology we never notice. Every time your iPhone unlocks with a simple glance, thousands of invisible infrared measurements, advanced optical engineering, artificial intelligence, secure cryptography, and custom silicon have already completed an extraordinary sequence of operations. What appears to be a simple convenience is, in reality, one of the finest examples of modern engineering hidden inside the palm of your hand. The story of Face ID is ultimately the story of precision. A tiny module no larger than a fingertip projects more than 30,000 invisible infrared points, measures their reflections with microscopic accuracy, reconstructs a complete three-dimensional model of your face, and verifies your identity before you have time to think about the process. Every stage depends on engineering measured in micrometers and computations completed in milliseconds. Building a system like this required engineers from many different disciplines to solve the same problem together. Optical specialists designed the projection system. Semiconductor engineers created dedicated AI processors. Security experts developed isolated hardware to protect biometric information. Software engineers optimized every algorithm so the entire pipeline would operate as a single seamless experience. Perhaps the greatest achievement of Face ID is that users rarely notice its complexity. There are no visible laser beams, no lengthy scanning sequence, and no complicated setup. Each time the phone is unlocked, the technology disappears into the background, allowing extraordinary engineering to feel completely natural during everyday use. Behind every successful authentication, invisible infrared light maps the surface of your face. Specialized processors reconstruct its geometry. Artificial intelligence analyzes thousands of unique biometric characteristics, and secure hardware confirms your identity without exposing your personal information. All of this happens inside a device small enough to fit comfortably in your pocket. Face ID demonstrates how modern engineering can transform a simple daily action into an incredibly sophisticated technological process. What appears to be nothing more than a quick glance is actually the result of precision optics, advanced semiconductor design, artificial intelligence, cryptographic security, and years of engineering innovation working together in perfect synchronization. The next time your iPhone unlocks instantly, remember that the device is not simply recognizing your face, it is measuring it. It is verifying depth instead of appearance, geometry instead of color, and mathematical structure instead of a photograph. That fundamental difference is what makes Face ID one of the most secure and advanced biometric authentication systems available today. From invisible infrared illumination to three-dimensional reconstruction, from neural network inference to secure hardware verification, every step has been carefully engineered to deliver speed without sacrificing privacy, convenience without compromising security, and simplicity without revealing the extraordinary technology operating beneath the surface. Millions of people use Face ID every day without realizing that one of the world's most advanced optical measurement systems is hidden inside the top edge of their smartphone. It quietly performs thousands of precision measurements, millions of AI calculations, and multiple layers of cryptographic verification every time the display unlocks. This remarkable combination of optics, electronics, artificial intelligence, and secure silicon represents far more than a convenient smartphone feature. It demonstrates how modern engineering continues to shrink laboratory-grade technologies into devices we carry every day, making extraordinary innovation accessible through the simplest possible user experience. What begins as a single glance ends with one of the fastest biometric decisions ever performed inside a consumer device. Invisible infrared light, precision optical engineering, custom silicon, artificial intelligence, and secure cryptographic hardware all complete their work before the screen even finishes waking up. Behind every effortless unlock lies a masterpiece of modern engineering, one that quietly protects your identity every single day.